tailor it to you?
I really not necessarily. I don't know if they're. I don't know. I guess I just thought it was your. So I should put something in a little bit um more personal. I guess.
Hmm?
I
Okay.
don't know if that's the
All right.
right word.
Well, I mean, no, and I
You
get, and
know,
I'm just asking you this question because I know others are feeling the same. And it's fine to, to
mhm.
add, like, start it off a certain way or add a little bit of the dialogue that you might use. Maybe you speak a certain way to your people and you need
Yeah,
to kind of add some of that dialogue. It's good to do that. Just don't get lost in making the change too much as you are getting
right.
into action. That's the one thing I want you guys to be focused on is you're going to
Mhm.
hear me start using the term action minds. And I really want you to focus on that going, hey, the speed of implementation is what separates average from great. The faster you implement,
Yeah, I did actually tell myself that yesterday that I just stop messing with something and do it. Just do
yeah,
it.
you can perfect it as it's in motion a lot easier than perfecting it and never doing it. Yeah, know that you're going to fail. You're going to do everything that's out there that is great didn't start off the way it is right now. They've tweaked it, they've gotten better, they got here, they've done this, they made improvements, they got everywhere into it. They just keep going with it. So get that. The faster you can get it out, the better you have the ability to start reconnecting. Because what every day, every week, every like minute lost in reconnecting with people opens up the opportunity for them to drift further from you. And the faster you can close that gap down, the more you can get them going on the way you want them to know that, hey, I may send 60 out this week that look like this. And then I may tweak it a little bit and send out another 100 that look like this. And then I may tweak it a little bit and it goes out to here. But everyone got the basic message. You're apologizing for not communicating with them. And you're saying it's from this point forward, it's going to change. So think about that. Think about the faster I can make a decision, faster I can get into action, the easier it is to grow and where I want to go. So Anna and James just asked about the reconnect letter. If you go into the course site, the Kajabi site, in the membership area, it's there for a download. It's part of your links to download right through there. And we're going to have some more stuff today that we're going to give that it's going to be in that group for that. So,
And just to put it out there, in case I was not the only one that was stupid enough to find it, the membership area at the very bottom of the page.
yeah,
It's me forever to find it. I going through tabs and going over, and so at the very
it's
bottom.
its own tab at the bottom there. So,
Yeah.
and every, like right now, if you go into it, the session that we're on today, session 5, is the outline is there, the self work is there. The video's not yet, but it's all there. You just have to complete the sessions above it for it to unlock that session. And then next week, the session 6 will be unlocked. So we'll just keep going from that aspect into it. All right. Well, let's get rolling in today. So today we are talking about lead generation and social media strategies. Now, these strategies and what we're going to be talking about, guys, some of it is going to be the old phone jockey, dialing, calling, doing that kind of stuff. We are going to hit that because that is a necessary part of the overall business, what we have to do, but it's not going to be our main source. We are going relational versus transactional in our mindset of what we're doing. So right now, we're going to be focused on how do we build those relationships But yet, how do we stay transactional a little bit? Because we have to get to our phase one income. We can't let the relational take a year, year and a half to get going and stay below our phase one at this time. So there is some pushing that we're going to do. There's going to be some tough things that we're going to have to do. There's going to be all this grind work that we're probably not going to want to sustain over a period of time that we're going to have to do in order to get ourselves into phase one. But our main focus is building that relational business so we can get away from doing that grind. We can have business come to us because we're constantly building relationships. So with that being said, the very first thing I want to talk about is the mindset piece. I don't know about you, but I can't be the only one on the planet that hates picking up the phone. I don't like picking up the phone and calling people I don't know. I like calling people that I know, and even then I only want to call people when it really has something to do with what I want at that particular moment. I don't want to just call people. I'm not one of those people that love to do it. So I don't enjoy that. I believe that if you wake up in the morning, you can't wait to make 100 phone calls, you're not wired properly. Something's not right with you. You're a little crazy. That's my belief. So in order to do that, I've got to start programming my mind to get ready for what I need to do. So I have 3 affirmations that I say when I enter my lead generation time, whether I'm driving to the office that I'm going to do it, wherever, but I got to get yourself into that right mindset for that period of time that you're going to do this. And the first thing is you got to say to yourself and chant it out and say, I have the power to create change. I have the power to create change. The second thing I say is I deserve the best and I accept the best now. And the third thing is when I really want it, I'm unstoppable. So when you start programming positive affirmations, and these may not be the ones you want to use, you may have something you're going to do, but come up with a couple affirmations, get yourself into it, say it standing up, repeat it over and over again, and go in with the right type of mindset. Now you can get on that phone and you can do what you need to do and go into it because you believe it. If you say those things and you don't believe it, come up with something that you believe that's going to make you get into the right mindset. And the more you hear it, and the more you say it, the more your mind just starts believing it. Understand that the human mind doesn't understand fact from fiction. We tell it what's right and wrong. So that's the first piece, is getting into it. The second piece is to make your prospecting time better, to make your mindset better, make your mornings media free. And I think we're all kind of in that boat right now, is we're all sick and tired of being sick and tired of media and politics and this and all of that. So we're all starting to get out of that a little bit, but make sure you're getting your media free. You're not looking at your emails in the morning. You're not going off onto your social media and getting upset because someone posted this or someone got angry about this or all these things. Get out of that as much as you can before you go into it, because you take that negative energy with you through those next conversations. And you're trying to stay away from it. And what you'll find is all those phone calls that you're making is building relationships. Well, you'll start getting in negative mindset conversations with them, and you're going to walk away from that time going, oh, that was a lot of fun. I feel depressed now. It's because you're bringing that energy and you stay in it with them because they're kind of in it too. But when you bring a positive energy and they hear it on the other end of the phone, it's relieving to them, and they have the ability to not be in that mode. We're all looking for a way to escape right now. So do that. So number 3 is create a pre-prospecting routine. And I'm going to give you some examples of what I do, and you're going to have something. But right now, you're going to hear me say, I've said it before, we all are consistent. We all have routines. Some of the routines and the consistency that we have is leading us to success. Some of the routines and the consistency we have is keeping us where we're at. and we need to make a change. So some of these things that I'm going to talk about, you probably are doing, some you're not. Add some pieces into it. Just work on building your consistency and your routine that's going to lead you to where you want to go. And now that we've done your phase one incomes, and we understand where we're at, where we want to go. Now that we know what our action plan looks like for 2021, and some of us, our action plans are based on 2 years ago. Some of us are based on the last 6 months. Some are based on 3 years ago. We've got everyone all over the board. But now that we know that, we know what we need to bring. So now we know what consistency we need to get into. So number one is make sure you're getting up at a specific time every day. This is key for realtors. Our days, we have the ability to get our day started whenever we want. Make sure we're getting them started at a specific time every day. Make sure you're going to bed at a specific time every day. Get in a routine. Get your body in a routine and do it, and make sure you're actually doing some right things. So number one is that. Do some form of exercising or stretching or walking, or just get the body moving. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to work out or do this. You don't have to go out and be that. I mean, look at me. I'm not any buff, great guy, but you got to do something every day that just gets the heart going, gets you in motion, gets you thinking the right way. Even if it's just go out for a walk, or sometimes you walk around your house a little bit. Do whatever you need to do, but get moving. That's the key thing. First thing in the morning, get up at a specific time and get moving at that time. Have a healthy breakfast of some sort. Have some kind of, get food, get things in you, get energy into what you want to do. Don't just say, well, I'll eat lunch. Because a lot of us get into that road. We just get up, we do, and we're moving along, and then before we know it, we forgot to even have a breakfast. Have something. Do your affirmations daily. We've talked about this. Do some affirmations, have some things, have your journal, your think time, have your spiritual time that you're going to do that's going to be empowering to you for your energy. Have some things in there that you do. Now, I've got in here, arrive at your office each day at a specific time. Not all of us are going and getting in our car and going to an actual physical building anymore. So treat your workspace or at home like it's your office. Go into that workspace at a specific time. Get your mind into, when I walk in to this room and I close the door, I am working. Program people around you that I am working during this time. Maybe it's only 30 minutes because you've got a young one at home that's in school and they've got a break in their class and you've got to go off and do it. But just get into that little chunk of time that this is my work time. I'm going to work, and then I'm going to go out and do this, and then I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to go out and do this. Get your mind into that right type of mode. Clear your desk and make sure everything is prepared for when you walk into it the next day. So at the end of the day, clean it up, get it all set up, get it ready for you to come into the next day and start work. Don't spend 40 minutes, 30 minutes just organizing your stuff when you start to get into that right the lead generation time. Actually come in ready to go. Do that the day before. When you're role playing, whether you do it into a mirror, or you do a little bit with someone else or with someone, you guys pair up here on a call with someone daily, do it enthusiastically. And if you're doing it with someone else and they're not, energy isn't high, call them out, get them up higher, because that tone and what they're doing, they're going to bring across the phone. And it's not the words we say, it's how we say them that get us where we want to be. So you can be a master at scripts, you can know things in and out, but your tonality, your energy can suck and you don't have a prayer. You can suck at scripts and have great energy and have a energy about you that people want to connect and communicate with you, and you're going to have success. So tonality and everything means more than what you say. And then the other thing is have fun prospecting, or in our case, have fun reconnecting with people. Have fun with it. Treat it like you're at a party and you come home and you're like, God, it was a really good time. I got to hang with Steve and I haven't talked to Steve in so long and his family's doing, bring that energy to things. Have fun with it. Have a goal that you want to go learn something every day from people you're communicating with that you didn't know prior to. Have fun with it. Okay. The other thing I want you to know is we must strengthen the link between prospecting and achieving our goals that we have to achieve. There's a link that gets there. Remember, I told you guys, contacts lead to appointments, appointments lead to contracts, contracts lead to closings, and closings lead to funding our life. So we have to get the contacts first. And the contacts can be people we know, people we don't know, door knocking, whatever it can be, but there has to be some form of contact every day. So we have to strengthen that link between it. Just realize that when you look at start looking at transactions and start looking at people. When you look at you need 1 or 2 deals by the end of the year, start looking that I need 1 or 2 people by the end of the year. You can control getting into relationships more than you can control getting a transaction. But you can't get a transaction without the relationship. So focus on what you can control and win at that game. Always know that you are 1 person away, not 1 transaction away. And try to go find that. And most of the time, those people, you just haven't communicated with them. Next is we must make a commitment to build our business through daily and efficient prospecting. And again, the prospecting, even though I'm going to say this word, I know when we hear it because I've heard it for so many years and I know what happens. Our heart rate goes up, our anxiety kind of kicks in, we get worried and we're like, oh, I got to talk to people I don't know. I got to know what to say. We get all these worries going through our minds. And those 2 words that get us down that path that really raise our blood pressure and raise our anxiety is prospecting and lead generation. Oh, we hear that and we're like, I don't know what that is, or I've got to do things I don't want to do. And oh my God, we freak out. I'm going to say it. I'm not meaning to scare you or anything. Just understand that my form of lead generation, my form of prospecting is building relationships. And everything we're going to talk about is how we get there. But unfortunately, we can't put all of our eggs in one basket from the start. We've got to do the grind in order to earn the right to be there. And that grind is what we need to do to fund our life and to keep our eyeballs above water so we can breathe and move where we want to go while we're building relationships so that momentum can continue to feed us. So our business generally comes from waiting for it, generally buying it, or going out and finding it. Those are the 3 ways that we can get business in this business. Get transactions, get people, and make money in this business. The way we are right now is we need to go out and get into the grind. So 80% of our business has to come from us going out and finding it. 20% will come from the relationships that we built through referrals and things that are coming onto it. And we need to actually get more into the 80% right now so that we're going out and finding it. And when we're going out and finding it, we're building stronger and strengthening relationships so that 20% starts taking over and growing because it's going to get into momentum. 20% happens just from the efforts that we're doing right now. And if you really start looking at it, we can't live on the 20% that's coming our way right now, a lot of us, because we were going through and we've all looked at our phase 1s, where we're at, and we know that we need a change. We need growth. That growth comes from going out daily and doing it. So we need to be working on the following lead sources daily. Number one, you got to look at past clients. You got to look at sphere of influence, people we know, our network of people. The other avenue is expired listings. Another avenue is for sale by owners. Another avenue is calling around listings that we've taken or sales that have happened or areas that we know a purchaser wants to move into, but we can't, we're waiting for another agent to put a property on the market so we can go out and do it. Go out there and call that neighborhood, get out there and do those things, get that happening today. Internet leads, agent referrals, sign calls. Sign calls are happening again, guys. Have you even noticed that you've had a tick up in sign calls over the last 3 or 4 weeks? I can't get over it. They went from like, I never got any to now I'm getting like 3 or 4 a week. Like people are out driving and they're not with agents. I mean, it's a little bit of a little different phenomenon right now. So get some more stuff out there because that happens. Open houses. That's kind of a hit and miss thing. I'm hearing some people are having good luck with them. I'm hearing some people are not. So it's just kind of whatever your level of what you feel comfortable doing, given the current climate, maybe a good way to do some stuff. Networking groups, online networking groups are good. Knocking on doors, leaving door hangers, something like that could work. But the top ones are your past clients and your sphere of influence. Don't go into the other areas until you've actually touched those people. But know that right now, our only thing we're focusing on is getting our phase one income and getting 90 days of phase one put aside. That's our only focus right now. So we've got to get there. We've got to get the oxygen mask on ourselves so we can go help others. So we have to have this as our full-fledged retreat, what we're after, what our prospect, our mission is. The other thing is we got to understand why prospecting is difficult at times. We got to already be thinking about that. We got to know this so that when those things enter our head, we know how to deal with them. And one of the things that makes it difficult at times is we get into the mindset that we don't know what to say. We worry about that. We also get into the mindset that we can't handle rejection and we're worried about getting embarrassed. We have this worry going on, so it stops us. The other thing is I know when you were doing your business plan, when you got to this part where you were looking through it, you haven't ever tracked your numbers. So that is scaring you. You don't know how many people you need to talk to in order to get where you're at. And you see it down on a business plan and you just start beating yourself up more about why you haven't done things. So you stay further and further away from doing it. I know what the mindset is because I've done it. You're worried about not getting enough results. You're worried that I'm going to put an hour or 2 hours in and I'm not going to get any results. Lead generation is you're getting into momentum. You've got to put a lot of grind in order for it to come. The more follow-up you have because of the calls you initiated, the more business that's going to come to you. So it's a slow start that ends up getting into momentum that ends up starting to fill yourself consistently from there. And we just have a basic fear. We have a fear of the unknown. Sometimes we have a fear of if they do say yes, what are we going to do? If I go knock on someone's door and it's a for sale by owner and they say, yeah, come on in, what do I do now? We've been there. I know you have. I know that's entered your head. So we need to understand that these thoughts are coming in and the thoughts that we're having, that drunk monkey is just trying to protect us. It's that pleasure pain. It'll keep you in the pain that you're in because it doesn't want to have you go into the pain of what you're thinking about. That's what happens a lot of times with the way our mind. So we've got to understand that so we can combat it. We can push ourselves a little bit. We can't go 0 to 60 immediately. We got to just take a step forward. We put out there to make 6 calls, 3 calls. We built it up a little bit, and then you heard me say the other day about 12. And according to somebody on the call that earlier before we got started, you're having a little struggle getting to that 12. It's early yet. But just look at the fact that you're probably more contacts ahead right now than you were a week ago. So you're winning. Stop beating yourself up. Just know that every day you've got to take a step forward. You will get to where you want to be. So how much prospecting lead generation should you be doing? Now I'm going to give you the 22 formula again. This isn't something that you have to do as this is your max. I just think that this should be your minimum. If you want to go out and do more, you want to go put this on steroids, go for it. Do more of it. You can only get better. But I also think if you're not doing this, this should be your goal to get to. So it should be your minimum standard. You should be making 12 phone calls and or text messages, which are conversations, every day, Monday through Friday. Get into doing 8 Facebook or Instagram direct messages, which is a social media conversation, every day. And then get into doing 2 handwritten thank you notes every day. Now, you may not be able to do 2 every day. Let's get the majority of the gratitude that goes out coming in handwritten notes. Some of it might just be you sending a text message or you sending a video message to someone saying, hey, I was just thinking about you and just want to say how grateful I am to have you in my life, or what you've done for me or whatever's come up, because something happens every day that you're grateful for. Share it with someone. Doesn't do you any good to have it inside your head that you're grateful about it. Share it, because that person is going to love it. We love hearing good things. And you feel good saying it. So get into that habit. This is the minimum I want to see you guys do. So make a real stride for that. You're going to start doing the 22 every day. And if you look at it right now and you go through and you're like, well, I'm only making on average 3 phone calls a day and I'm doing a couple direct messages and I haven't done any handwritten notes. If you double that for the next few days, and then as you get that momentum, you double that. And before you know it, in a week, you're averaging 12 phone conversations, you're averaging 8 Facebook or Instagram direct messages, and you're averaging 2 handwritten notes. That growth is going to get you where you want to be. I'd rather see you take a week to 2 weeks to get there consistently than to just say, today I'm doing it, and then not be able to sustain it. So just keep moving forward. Look back at where you were and look where you want to go. And as long as you're moving forward, you're growing. So make sure this is where it gets into, we talked about your scheduling and we talked about that earlier on about time blocking. And you notice I haven't really hit you about wanting to see your schedule yet, because it's irrelevant until your mindset and until your business plan and until you know what you want is there. It's irrelevant to build a schedule, because you don't know what you're doing building a schedule for. You're building it to just make someone else happy because you did it. You're just checking something off your list, but you're not living it. Now that you know your phase 1 income, now that you know what your business plan is, now that you know your why and you know some of the things that you want to do with your life and do with your family and that this business can fund, now it's easy to go and get into your scheduling, because now your time blocking will work because you've bought into it. So make sure your scheduling and prospecting become critical factors in making your business work by adding it to your schedule every day. It's got to show up. If it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist. Your 22 has to be in your schedule. So call in the morning when you're at your freshest and realize I don't have to make 12 phone calls. I don't have to do 8 direct messages. I can do 8 direct messages and stuff sitting in my pajamas with a cup of coffee I don't have to be like, I can do that around that time. I can make my phone calls at 9 o'clock and be done at 10:30, and I've talked with 12 people and I've made an impact. I've started things, or it's that simple to just build a relationship. You're not trying to get much more than that. Remove all the distractions around you. Eliminate as much as you can. If you need to, have the scripts or have things in front of you that are going to keep you on task of what you're going to say. Remember, you're on the phone. They don't know you're reading something. They don't know you are looking at it. You don't have to memorize it to the point you want. I just want you to internalize it, meaning that it becomes part of your language. We are all scripted. Everything we say, everything we have ever said, we learned from a script. We either learned it from a TV show, we learned it from hearing people talk around us. We've internalized it, and then that becomes what we say. Lots of stuff we don't even think, it just comes out because it's so internalized. Don't let scripts get in the way of that, because that's how you're speaking already. You just have done it for so long, you don't think you ever looked at a piece of paper, which you probably did, and you just heard people talk around you. So understand it. Just kind of, that's the way you internalize it. You want to make it your own, you do that by internalizing it, and it becomes part of your dialogue. You've got to understand that you've got to get good with the repetitious boredom of some of the things that we do in our business. Lead generation is one of them. Every day we have to do the same task over and over again, and we get bored knowing that we have to do the same thing over and over again, so we don't do it. We have to do that part. It's okay. You can be bored for an hour every day, do what you need to do, and then go off and do whatever it is you want to do. And become an expert at your dialogues. So work on that. Get good at what you say. Get good at listening. Because that's part of dialogue too, is not just speaking, but truly listening to what people are saying. And then repeating some of that back to them. I hear you're saying this. Or, if you're in a conflict situation, sometimes just saying, hey, you know what, Michelle, I'm seeing it this way. Help me see it different. Try to get their perspective on things sometimes. That opens it up for a deeper conversation. And you go on, and now you've made an impact on them. You want them to remember the conversation. So there's 3 opportunities with everybody you talk to. And this goes back to what I said at the beginning of the call, by looking at your phone and get an idea how many people you're already speaking to on a daily basis. Know that there's 3 opportunities with every single person that you talk to. The first opportunity is, obviously, can I do business with them? Can they buy or sell a home from me? That's our top thought. Our second thought is, can I get a referral from them? And then our third thought needs to be, can I add them to my database? Now, if you're calling someone and they don't fit into that realm, why are you calling them? Maybe it's a bill collector. Maybe it's you got to call some of it. Even that, some of the people that we got to call for like school or kids events or things like that still could fit into, can I do business with them? Can I get a referral from them? Can I add them to my database? And the way all 3 of those things come to light is building a relationship. They won't do business with you. They won't give you a referral. And it's worthless adding them to your database if you're not going to get a relationship with them. So every person you're communicating with needs to go through that filter. So here's where a pivot in my mindset came about 9 years ago, was when I realized that I just needed to focus on what I could control. And I needed to do my 22 Monday through Friday consistently. And then I needed to chill the fuck out. I'll say that again. I needed to do my lead generation consistently because I could control the relationships I was getting into. After I did that, I needed to chill the F out. The reason for that is if I do what I can control and I do enough of it and I build relationships and I come from gratitude, business will come my way. It may not come in 5 days or a week or 2 months or whatever, but it's coming. And there's no way that I can't do all of that communicating and not have something come my way. Sometimes you just have to do your activities and trust that your activities are going to get you there because you did them consistently. The problem we have is we may do our activities on a Monday, then we stop on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we do it again on a Thursday. And then we go through the weekend and we wake up Monday in a little kind of a depressed mode. And we're like, man, I talked to like 12 people this week and nobody's called me back. Like, yeah, but you only talked to 12 people. That would have been like if you would have talked to 60 people over 5 days instead of 12 people over 5 days. So that's the piece that I want you to be looking at is just do the consistent activities and then chill out. Because if you're doing the activities, the results will come. The results never come without the activities. You may get lucky and get a referral or get the phone to ring and then you get something, but all of a sudden you're going to have nothing again. Consistency always wins. Like I said before, we're either consistently doing the number one thing in our job that leads us to the income that we want, or we're consistently staying away from the number one thing in our job, and that's getting us the results that we currently have. So we have to make that pivot change. We have to do something different. We can't expect a change in our income, a change in the quality of our life, a change in all the things that we want without changing what we do. Now, here's the piece that I am extremely big on is I will put in more time and more effort to get going, but I'm unwilling to give up my personal time to go off and get ultimately what I want in a long term. So everything I'm teaching you guys and preaching to you guys and doing the stuff that I've done through relationships and doing that to build a business that allows me to spend more time in my fun and in my family zone because I'm doing the things necessary at a high rate that'll lead them to me. I don't care about the time you put in, I care about the quality of the time. So if you're gonna give me an hour, give me 60 minutes of everything you've got. You do that, you're gonna end up enjoying the other 23 hours of your day. But if you give an hour and you only gave me 10 minutes, you're going to stress out the other 23 minutes or 23 hours because you're going to stress out that, hey, I really didn't do that much. I'm more into giving me quality versus quantity. And the last thought I want to leave you guys with is win the game that you have control over. You can't control interest rates. You can't control who's going to be elected president. You can't control what's going on in the media. You can't control, the weather. You can't control any of all this stuff, but you can control your conversations, your activities, the strength of your relationships, and what you do every day with them. And if you focus on winning that game, you will win the long game. So let's go in and talk about what your self-work homework is going to be for this week. I want you to go in and go into the membership part, which Michelle brought up to everyone, is at the bottom of the page. Download your copy of this. There's a script book there. It's got a few Mike Ferry scripts, a few Floyd Wickman scripts, a few scripts that I've used throughout the days, a couple of database, lead generation for building a referral base script in there is ones I've used. Get that thing. You can go out and get more of them, but take that tab, download that script, start using some of those. Write out the lead generation script twice a day for 7 days. So handwrite it out. Get a notebook, write it out word for word. As you're writing it out, say it as you're writing it out. It starts internalizing when you do that. It gets you building, it gets you kind of going, because it's that subconscious part of your mind that sticks with it as well. It helps. Pick someone in our group, go on our Facebook page and grab someone that you can be a role play partner with. Chant and role play scripts twice a day for the next 7 days. So those are the 3 things. I want you to get into the mindset that you can handle anything that's thrown at you. And you can get over that fear of, what do I do if they say yes? What do I do if I knock on a door? What do I do if someone that I know wants to do business with me and I'd rather deal with people that I don't know? We have that fear. It's been brought up before. I know it. Get to understand what to say. Know it's okay to pause when someone asks you a question. Know it's okay for some of that stuff. You don't have to always have the immediate answer. You just have to be in relationship with them so they trust you. All right, so what questions do you guys have from that material that we covered today?
Can you tell me one more time where to find that script?
Those scripts are on the Kajabi, the product page, and where the course is. At the bottom in that source where you've got your different sessions, there's a membership area. And all the downloads are in the membership area. The script, the business plan, your reconnect letter, all the things we've gone through to this point are there. And as we go through further and more things that come into there that'll be there, I will add them as they're popping in.
Okay. And if anybody wants to role play, just contact me. I don't know if we have any contact information up.
You can message it through the chat room, or like I said, it's
Okay.
all in, everyone's in the Facebook group as well, so you guys can communicate through there.
Awesome.
Whatever works for you guys, just do. But I think the more you guys come together as a community, the more you're helping each other out, the more growth that's going to happen in here, because we're all in this together. We all have some of the same fears and anxieties and things that are going on in our life day to day. It's just some people are talking about it and others are keeping it in, but we're all having it. Just know that together we can help each other through this. Anyone else? Any more questions? I hit you guys with a lot.
I don't have a question. I just had kind of an aha that I wanted to share when I was going through my database. And I think for myself, I was looking as what we went over today of what can I do business with them? Can I get a referral from them? Kind of made it more clear for me. Because as I was going through my list and finishing up my group A, B, and C, right, of who my people that would put a headlock in for me for doing a referral, I forgot about the amount of people. It's not just my clients, but people that I've had conversations with that I kind of pushed to the wayside. So that was a big aha moment where I was like, holy crap. And I'm sitting in front of my computer last night going through, different contacts and folders that I had that maybe they were inactive for a little bit. I've got a folder with just inactive people that I've had prior conversations with. So that was kind of a big aha, like, don't forget those people, even though you may not have talked to them. But now with those 3 opportunity areas makes it a little bit more clear. But there was a bucket of people that I forgot about that was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it, you
Mhm.
know? So,
No, and we've all had that, and we have it, and no matter how strong we think our database is and how good we are at follow-up, there's a group of people that are forgotten.
yeah, I
You
feel
know,
like,
and that's why, like, I was having you guys go through and categorize your A's, your B's, your C's, and know where they're at, and have your lead generation time of you going into those areas to expose some of that. You know, your A's, your top people that give you referrals, you're going to make sure you never miss a beat on them.
yeah.
But you're cultivating your C's to be your A's someday.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, so it's just that process, but we're always going to have that, and we just need to limit the amount of people that can be in that bucket. Awesome. Any other ahas from today's call or from anything throughout the weeks?
Well, I guess I'll tell you a real quick oops.
Mhm.
Kind of go along with what Michelle was saying. I was going through my list, and I know a lot of people. I went to 2 high schools, and I've had businesses. I've had a lot of clients and stuff.
Bye, Michelle.
And you're gonna beat me up because
No,
we
I'm
talked
not.
about this before last time. But I went through my sphere of influence. All these people that I know, I went through my KV core and cleared out some people and got all this other stuff. And I realized I only have about a third of my sphere of people in my system. So I didn't realize that I did it. And
Mhm.
when we were going back through it and checking this stuff the other day, I have a friends A, a friends, I have the ABC
Mhm.
kind of list in my thing. I'm like, where'd it all go? And I'm sending out these texts and messages to these friends group, and a large portion of the people that I know that are either friends or family,
Mhm.
especially family, they're not even in my system anymore.
Mhm.
So now I'm like going, oh no, I must have either didn't get them in there. Well, I know a lot of them are in there. I must have pulled them out of there not thinking, and then never put them back. So now I've kind of like, oops, I guess it doesn't work when it say
And-
hi family and it goes out to 3 people.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm so glad you shared that, James, because we're human. We're gonna make mistakes. We've had things and do this, but when we stay in the routine and keep doing what we've been doing, but we expect a different result, we're practicing insanity. Now that you got this awareness and you went and you looked at it, you can fix it from this point forward.
Mhm.
And if you
Well,
didn't have that awareness, you would have just kept doing what you've been doing, and you wouldn't have known that you don't have everyone there.
yeah,
So you
I went
can't go back
through,
and fix it,
people.
but you can fix it from this point
Yeah.
forward. So that's awesome.
And then the bad thing is, and this is really kind of embarrassing because when I train people on KV Core, the very first thing I tell them is get the sphere in and get your people in there. But I think what I did is when I did mine, I did it, 3 years ago. And I pulled up all these old records of all these, because I've got, people just barrel into my KV Core from Facebook ads and everything else. And a lot of them are no contact. They don't call you back. So I went in and pulled the dates up and I archived them. And I think what I did is I took that entire group of people of family in a high school and people that I did when I set up my stuff. And I archived them right out of my system and didn't even realize it until like last week. So it's kind of a
Now you can
oops.
fix it.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna pull it back up. Yeah.
All right. So we got 2 ahas from the call. One more, and then I can jump into my exciting announcement. We got Anna, we got Emmy, we got Patricia, Steve. Who had an aha that we can share?
Have Steve tell the one statement again about with your follow-up. I can never remember it, and you say it a few times. Something about their restraining order. Say it again.
I call till they buy, they die, or they file a restraining order on me.
There
I just keep
it is.
calling.
There it is.
I just keep calling. That
Thank you.
stems
That's the
back
best.
from my law enforcement career. So
Yep.
you can't give up. When you said earlier something about the big and something that came to mind, what I always tell people, it's not the big company that will eat the small one, it's the fast one that will eat the slow one.
Mhm.
I'm surrounded by some big teams here that are doing 300, 400, 500 deals a year, you
Yep.
know, and I'm still able to continue doing business around them. And
Mhm.
one of my aha moments was like, I was talking to Mike yesterday, was when I did that video. He's been on me and on me and on me to do videos. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And I think about it, and then I do this video, and he challenged me that morning. He goes, just go out and do that video right after we talk. And I did a video, and I think it's up to 682 views now, Mike. And the store owner already told me that he's gotten a bunch of people that have come in and mentioned my name. I think he's gotten like 26 people that have come in and mentioned my name. And I've had a few people on Facebook message me about other things, both cooking and real estate. So what you talked about is formulating and coming together. And it's just been one video. So now I'm kind of like contemplating, where am I going to go next, and kind of show it up and do that teaser video that you talked about.
Mhm. You know,
What was the
that is
video
so
on,
awesome,
Steve?
Steve. That's so great.
It
What was
was
the
on
video on?
it was on a barbecue shop that's here
Okay.
in my neighborhood, because I love to barbecue when I'm not at the range or I'm mountain biking. So I just did a video, and it's just unbelievable, the overwhelming response that I've gotten from it. Just people watching it and asking me questions, and just saying hi and stuff. It's amazing. I'm just like, I can't wait to get to the next video, another location, and highlight a business, a restaurant, a store, a dealership, whatever. Just,
Yep.
you know.
Now, when we talked about lead generation social media strategies, one of the things I want you guys to look at from what Steve just said right there is, you put out a piece of content once a week, twice a week, that's similar to what Steve just did. 680 people see it. I don't know how many likes you've had on it or how many comments you've had, but your lead generation can be done right through a piece of content, meaning that if you direct message everyone that liked the video and just started a conversation with them, you commented back, and when you get them to comment back on you start a conversation through the comments, you direct message them as well. Your 22 forms of contact per day can come from the content you put on Facebook. There's so many ways to get this done because we're focusing on relationships. You gotta mess with that algorithm of Instagram and Facebook by going in and commenting, liking, direct messaging people. Now your content's going to go in front of them because you're communicating with them. That's what you want to do with your social media lead generation strategy. So it works.
Piggybacking off of that real quick, Mike, is some of the things I've been messing around with is like what you said is, I just want to see what it looks like, what I'm saying. So I'm sitting there having a cup of coffee in the backyard, and I just start a quick video about something that just came to mind. And it's kind of funny because they're really spontaneous. They're not scripted. I make a ton of mistakes. It doesn't matter. I go back, I correct it, and they're actually kind of funny. And I've done funny ones here messing around with like my wife, picking some like funny name for her. And I act like I'm this big time agent, and I'm interviewing her, and she's not cooperating. And it's actually pretty funny. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if I put those things up, people would probably just start busting up, especially right now with everything going on. Everybody needs a good laugh.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I did 2 live videos this week in our Facebook group. You guys all got notification through your notifications through Facebook that I did a live video. That's what got you to go look at, right?
I didn't get,
Look at your notification. If you're in the Facebook group, you would get a note. The reason you do these live videos sometimes is it alerts people that are in your friends group or in the groups that you're doing these videos in, so now they go watch it. It doesn't have to pop up into their feed. It pops in their notification. That's why you want to mix it up a little bit, do live once in a while, because it notifies them and then it drives the traffic to them. And then they watch it. Okay, so it's 12:01. What's that, James?
One of the things I've gone through and done too recently is I've gotten so many things that are notifying me I've had to take out some because I can't see the things that I really want to be interested in too. So, I mean, my notification bar is almost like my email bar, like junk mail. Unfortunately, I've been getting to the point where it's like I've been yep slapping it, just like clear it, because I'm getting tired of seeing all these things I really don't care about. So I got to go back and look at yours because I missed that. I didn't see yours.
Yeah.
So
Check that out. So what I wanted to share with you guys today is, as you'll find spending time with me, and you've heard me say it, is I'm always pivoting. I'm not changing, meaning that I give up on where I want to go, but I'm always looking at ways going, okay, how do I, what's the best route to get to the destination I want to get to? What's the thing that I've learned that I can actually take and actually make the pivot move to grow with it? So with this group, I'm going to be pivoting again. So in a pivot that I do, guys, whenever I do any type of pivot in anything, I look for it. It has to be a win-win. Whether I'm pivoting in my business, pivoting something with my family, it has to be a win-win. It can't be always one-sided. So the win-win that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pivot that is better for myself and it provides a ton of value to you guys. So this starting on the 15th, which is just a few days, there will be no more billing for what you guys are in right now. It's going to be paused. It's going to stop. Starting on Black Friday, I am launching this program of the training that we are doing where we're building the videos out, where you guys got that as a product that people are going to be able to buy, download, and watch all. It's probably going to be 10 videos when we're said and done with it because we're going to condense them, make them smaller in there, and you'll be able to watch them at your pace. Then the next step would be that they would go into a membership where we would get on 2 calls like we're doing here. Be a membership. You guys would pay a flat fee every month, and you would be all part of this. Into there. So I'm going to separate the two, but the people that are in the membership get the product. People that just get the product, they can have the opportunity to go into the membership. And then the people that I coach one-on-one have to have gone through a product in my membership. So here's the kicker. Here's where it becomes a huge value for you guys. Right now we're at $49. We're working through this and I appreciate it. And I told you guys from the very beginning, a lot of you had 30 days free because you came from a different source. Some of you are here, all these kind of different things. I told you that I was going to make sure that you were grandfathered and you guys were going to get the best deal in this, and I was here to take care of you. So you are going to be part of the Black Friday launch. The product itself, you guys already have. So don't worry about what that cost is going to be because you're already going to have it. It's going to go for everyone else. It's going to be $9.99 for that weekend. I'm going to give it to them for $10. The membership for this group is going to be $29.99. Here's why, guys. And Mark's not on the call, but I'm not about the people, like the amount of number of people. I mean, sorry, I'm not about the money. I'm not here to be like, say, I can do this for 900, I can do this for this, whatever. I want to get the most people through this program. I want to make the most impacts on people in the next year. That's my mission. So I'm making this, and I've challenged everyone around me to poke holes and to find it. My coaches and people is like, I want to make it so ridiculously inexpensive that people can't say no. We have people in this group that are paying me that aren't on this call. And they're going to end up being just where they are. So I'm going to change it. You're going to get in so low that your doors are going to be blown off. So you have to make a change. The impact in your business where it needs to go means more to me than anything else. Everything else will come to my way. This is like what I'm telling you guys with your lead generation. This is building the relationship. If I impact you guys and you and the future people, everything else that I want will come my way. That's what I'm going to do. So starting, we're going to kind of go through some hurdles. So when you asked a few, you've asked like, when's the next video going to be posted? It's not going to be posted until after this weekend or actually after Black Friday weekend because they're being redone. Mark's reshooting them, doing them Saturday. I'm back in the studio. And we're going to launch this into something new, but you guys are all going to be taken care of. So
Okay.
the only thing that I want to tell you, and if you could pass it along to everyone that's in the group that you know that you hang out with, I haven't figured out yet how I suspend your billing,
Oh,
but
sure.
know that once it comes through and it pops in my thing that it's been done, I'm going to refund it.
Yep.
Okay, so you have my word on it. Everyone is going to get, when their next billing comes up and it hits a Stripe or a PayPal, whatever you did, I'm going to refund it. But I'm hoping that over the next few days, someone at Kajabi can tell me how I can do that without deactivating you. The only way I can find is to deactivate the person. And I'm like, I don't want to deactivate you. I just want to stop your billing. So I'm working on that.
Can't you change the billing to 0?
It's on a reoccurring thing, so I haven't figured that out. It's gotta be there for me to do. I just don't know it. It's the part of things that it's out of my pay grade.
Right. Are you going to offer by chance, and I know the benefit of the $29 a month, but are you going to offer like an annual deal as well, or a way to pay up? One of the things I'm trying to do is get rid of all these monthly payments. I want to just pay for the year and be done with it.
I would not, if anybody that wants to pay upfront can do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't turn the money away. I'm just making it so that people feel like they're only making a
Right.
30-day commitment. Then it puts the pressure on me to keep you around.
That's the benefit of the monthly, is it keeps them involved.
And it keeps me having to deliver. I like the accountability going, hey, they drift and I wasn't delivering to them.
Yep.
Just like when I take a listing, I don't like to take a 6-month listing unless it's a particular type of property, because I figure I got to earn the right for you to want to still keep your listing with me. So I'm good either way. I'm not going to turn money away. But I also don't want people to feel like that's the only way into me. So that's the announcement. So look for more to come out for you guys. We're going to make some pivots and changes. I know they have noticed too, and if you guys could share this, and hopefully everyone else will watch this video throughout there. I'm going in and I can see not everyone is going in and taking the course through the Kajabi site. So go in and actually start marking things completed, go through and do it. Because that's your way to actually get access to the more and more things that are coming into it. Any questions about all that I just dumped on you?
Nope.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to make an impact on you. If there's anything I can do, reach out to me. Look forward to talking to everyone on Friday. And I know a few of you have not scheduled your call with me for your business plan. Go and do that, because the next group's not going to get those one-on-one calls like you guys got. So, yep, you guys are always well done. Love you.
Bye, guys. Have a good one. See you Friday.